I think we have a question at the back of the room. There's a microphone just there if you could.
Thank you. Not familiar with this, clearly. Hi, guys. A question I had for you, and just relating to knowing your customers and meeting their needs, and obviously networking is so crucial, but sometimes you do have to be specifically targeted to get a result, because unfortunately we have to make money. So occasionally when you target somebody, even if it's in a networking environment, what do you do to get past a roadblock? And by that I mean occasionally you might be targeting a particular area, meet someone at an event like this, get their card, not have the connection, not necessarily bond with them, or even they don't like you, and you find out the person you really need is either above them or beside them. That can become very uncomfortable in that environment because they feel like you're trying to somehow downplay their role. How do you recover from that, or how do you go beyond that to achieve that result?
So just to clarify, if you met somebody and you didn't have a connection with and you need to get through them to somebody else, is that...
No, if you, let's say I want to meet the agri manager, which I do at Westpac, for example, so I've just met NAB. But if that was an example and I met somebody else from Westpac that was perhaps a colleague in their office, and maybe initially I thought that was the right person to get to, if you then find out that they're not, people can get very protective. People can block your entry into any organisation, and sometimes you've met somebody quite influential, even if they're the wrong person.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else has ever found that.
Constantly.
But yeah. So I was just curious to know how you guys work your way around that, because it's a very delicate situation, especially when you're in a business where you only have a certain amount of targets. So it might be one chance. You might lose quite a big piece of business by not getting to that correct person.
Yeah. I don't know whether this is going to help you or not, but something that I do is just go, oh, I didn't realise, you know, like...
the blonde card.
Yeah. Oh, really? So I've done that quite a lot. And, you know, you're not being aggressive or nasty in any way, but, you know, if people want to play the nasty card or want to block you, you know, that rather than confront them, and we can all be nasty when we need to be, but I find a more productive and positive way of getting around those people is just go, oh, really, I didn't realise, apologies for that, you know.
I think as well that it wasn't that the person that you met is roadblocking you because you obviously didn't like them or you didn't have a connection. If you can try again with that person without stalking them. It could be that you find out that do some research and find out that they're going to be at an event and try again in real life and not on the phone where they can roadblock you easily. It's very hard to roadblock someone without being a rude cow in real life. So most people are quite happy to be a connector in an open environment in real life. So sometimes you can find out who's going to be attending a certain event or find out what they like. The other thing is that you can do the I didn't realise that I went above you, I'm really sorry, and then try and build the relationship back up with that person. Or if they are being, intentionally roadblocking you for any reason, could just be that they feel offended or whatever, would be just to go above their head and don't worry about them because you didn't have a connection and they're not important to realising your goals at all.
And I think in the end, we are all different people. We all connect with different people in very many ways. And as you get more and more experience, you work out there are different ways of dealing with everybody. But I think the golden rule is always what goes around comes around. And if you play, as Sarah so cutely put it, the nasty card will come back and bite you 10 times over. So don't. Simply work through it, be productive, be positive, because in the end the world works better that way, and we're all better off as people, as business people and as networkers if we simply find ways to manage the situation positively.
The other thing that I find, Heather, is that if I'm trying to make a connection with somebody of a senior level and I'm struggling to begin with, the people like executive assistants and personal assistants are very, very powerful in getting you time with those people.
Pay it forward.
Pay it forward, people. Yeah, definitely.
Yes. Okay, any more questions for the audience? If not, I think we've talked a lot about... Oh, sorry, Graham.
I'm in local government, but we find it hard to communicate with our customers, mainly because we always seem to be the bad person. And I note you Graham Phil.
It's okay.
Yeah, Graham Phil from Victor Harbour. In local government, we always seem to have trouble in communicating. I'm interested in you talking about Facebook and blogging, etc. How effective is that in getting what you want back, especially Melanie with your dynamic effort on that?
It is a major issue for us right now. We're sort of struggling to find, for our business, Facebook, Vimeo, Twitter, I'm missing a bunch there. We blog, we use Tumblr. Those particular avenues, I feel, are the most important in our business to communicate with our customer. Sorry, also magazines. We paid marketing people to place editorial in magazines to give our brand strong branding. But it's almost a full-time job, and I'm struggling to manage that well. But we kind of at the moment are working out who in our business is really, what are they comfortable with managing, because some of them don't understand Twitter. Like, who cares what I've got to say on Twitter? Like, what am I supposed to write? I don't understand it. They're not on Twitter. Then some of them are really good at it and they're just tweeting all day long. Some of them are good with Facebook. They feel a connection with Facebook and they find that really simple. But after a while, they've got their jobs to do, and when I add any more to their plate, it's just too much. So, yeah, I feel like it's important for us. We're thinking about getting a social media person into our business that will make relationships with the bloggers, full-time Facebook, have a plan. It's not about just putting stuff onto Facebook and onto Twitter. You have to sit down with your team, map out a monthly plan, a yearly plan. Being global, we have to think about Mother's Day in all different countries, fashion events in all different countries, and then we put that into a calendar. So it's not random what we're tweeting and Facebooking, and then it just takes a little bit of the pressure off. You know what you're talking about every day, it's already planned, so we work it out a little bit like that.
We do social media consulting at Adelaide Hills Marketing, and I've worked out recently that I spend on average 4 hours a day social media myself. It takes a lot of time to nurture online relationships as it does in real life. The thing with local government is obviously you're concerned, and local governments are always concerned about negative feedback and people that want to complain, because it's always the vocal minority that like to hijack social media or any sort of forum or even public event when it comes to local government, I would assume. I've seen it happen. One of the things I always say is I would prefer to people be talking to my face, whether that be on Facebook or Twitter, than talking about me behind my back. And I can respond. The difference is when somebody writes an angry letter to you at local government, which I'm sure you get lots of, and positive, more than positive, because angry people tend to want to write letters more, is that, and that could be because they don't have a lot of other things to do in their life, but is that when you get those angry letters, you respond in a really well thought out manner, I would imagine, from local government, and only that person gets to see that response. When somebody has a complaint and whinge on social media, you get to do your very well thought out response and everyone else gets to see it. So don't be afraid of negative feedback on social media. Love it, because when you answer and solve that customer's needs in front of the world, it is a much better feeling.
The power works both ways. It's a great power to communicate. It's also a great power not to control what people send to you. But I think Michaela's point's really valuable. You have the opportunity to respond in a way that you wouldn't have had before.
And don't ever try and in social media, don't ever try and delete things. Your social media network will see right through you. I had recently where somebody said something negative about a customer, a client of mine, on our Facebook page, and that customer wanted us to take it down. And we had to explain to them that if we took it down, we would lose all respect and credibility with our social media network. We just had to respond in the best way that we could. But the great thing about social media, it's here for a day, gone tomorrow. So it's you just have to ride through it sometimes. Yeah.